Welcome to the show, everybody. Super excited to have with me today Dmitry Nazarov. He is the CTO over at Genesis Vision. Dmitry, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Now, I want to ask you, for anybody who doesn't know what Genesis Vision is, can you give us the short version?
Yeah, sure. So Genesis Vision is the trust management platform. So we build the core of a trust management process on smart contracts and blockchain. And to this core, we connect existing and operating brokerages and exchanges from different markets, allowing their traders to attract investments through the Genesis Vision network. Basically, that's what makes it different from the traditional scheme is that it operates transparently, providing transparency for both brokerage operations and the trader statistics and trades, providing additional guarantee for investors.
Now, the current system, okay, it's not transparent and that's kind of a problem, but if I'm a broker and I like that the system is not transparent, I like being able to take that extra percentage from my customers, how do you get those people to come? How do you attract brokers and traders to come to the Genesis Vision system?
Yeah, that's a good point. The problem with transparency exists, but it's only one of this problem. The thing here is that like this transparent future is inevitable, I would say, and everything is going towards this. So everybody heard about these blockchain things, and investors, even that who are not very deeply involved into this, they want to use these transparent systems. But apart from the transparency, we have the problem with the lack of information. So this market is very so it's separated from each other, all these brokerages. And for broker to attract investors, he should make some marketing on his own to attract brokers to his platform. And then these investors attracted particularly to his platform can only have access to his traders. So it's very big limitation, meaning that volumes that this broker additionally can attract, and that's the purpose of this trust management thing for him, to make his traders trading with bigger volumes, making his commissions more profitable. It's all limited to what people he can attract. In our system, we have like big decentralized network from different markets, and all these investors, they potentially can bring their money to this broker, because if his traders are successful, then a lot more people will invest. So that's the additional profit for them, like increase in volumes much bigger than they can achieve on their own.
I really feel like the trust issue is so incredibly important, and transparency through blockchain technology is a revolution in trust, because I imagine that brokers, they sit down and think, okay, we don't get enough business because people don't trust us. They think, hey, those guys, they're going to do something with my money and I don't trust them. But if they can verify, hey, here's how much we made, here's my percentage, here's what you get, it's all registered. I think that's really going to do a lot for the industry as a whole, but also, of course, give Genesis Vision a fantastic starting place for that market. But is there any way that a trader can still cheat? Or is everything very transparent on the blockchain, or can they still find some way? And if so, what might those ways be?
From the perspective of a trader himself, it's not actually possible, because everything's controlled by the software. So all these accounts that we build, basically the trader doesn't have an access to these funds of investors, so they don't have any opportunity to cheat here. But we still have the ability from the brokerage side, so that what happens in this traditional untransparent system is that draw some statistics in the past, or they can amend some quotes, making some trades are like illegal out of market. But this thing can be controlled as well, because we track all the trades in real time, all the statistics. So, and all these things are stored in the blockchain. So that's the main purpose of the blockchain here, is that this statistics and history cannot be amended, and it's visible to everybody. So these out-of-market trades in real time, they can be controlled and checked.
Very cool. Now, what about the Genesis Vision token? So if I'm a holder of the token, what exactly does that do? What can I use it for?
All right. So basically, the token is the fuel for our platform. So it is used as an internal currency. All investment operations and profit distributions are handled in this like middleware currency. So the purpose here is that we plan to attract a lot of brokers, a lot of different markets, and all these traders, they trade different assets, they trade different currencies, and their trading accounts are different currencies as well. And if we want to make this this decentralized huge network unified, then we need to have some simple currency that everybody can use for investments in different markets like forex, cryptocurrency markets, whatever. So they just need one token, and this currency can be used to build this diversified portfolio, so that they can invest this into anybody basically in the network.
So if I have $100,000 and I want to invest that with someone, I'll have to have $100,000 worth of GVT, basically.
Yeah, that's right. So it is converted. So our token is already like public and tradable on exchanges. So that's not a big deal. So we can make this automatically through the application as well. But the thing is that in the end, you need to have these tokens.
That was going to be one of my next questions, is really, so let's say I don't have any cryptocurrency. I have no Bitcoin, I have no Ethereum. I hear about Genesis Vision. I think, wow, that's a great idea. Take my money, right? Can you accept fiat, so US dollars or Russian rubles, and that will get transferred into Genesis Vision, which goes to the broker, and then he, or the trader, they trade euros, for example. Does that happen like that?
So the conversion from GVT tokens to the currency of a trader handled by the broker himself. So he gets this GVT, and then he decides what he wants to do, either to convert this or to hedge his risks and to leave some part of this funds in GVT, because he will need to transfer these profits in GVT as well. But that's on the side of a broker. It's pretty much the standard risk management for like currency conversion, and this is one side. And then we have this the side of the investor himself. So here we also have the ability to develop some integration with the cryptocurrency exchanges, to exchanges directly. From the beginning, it will be, we won't accept the fiat money in the first version, probably, because there are some legal issues with that, and of course it's a bit tricky. But like if you have Bitcoins or Ethereum, and then you don't have any idea where this GVT is traded, you can make it through the application.
Okay, so we will see fiat in the future, but that won't be the first implementation of Genesis Vision.
Yeah.
So now initially you're starting with just cryptocurrencies, is that correct? So I'll be able to invest in basically somebody who's going to be trading cryptocurrencies, but you will be bringing in foreign exchange, stocks, futures, these different things as well, correct?
Not exactly, because we start from the real market at the same time. So basically this forex market will be our first step. because the integration with the crypto, they take a bit more time, because this we need to develop the integration for each particular crypto exchange, and that's a bit more difficult than develop the integration for some popular trading platforms like MT4, MT5, and that's basically where we start from. So this real market will be connected first. We have already like the client base there, and the technology is also. We have something ready for that market. So that's why we build this crypto transparency to the real market first.
Okay, very interesting. Now, recently I saw the team went to the IFX Expo. How did that go? Were there any deals signed, or were there any deals almost signed? Are you in talks with any new partners?
Yeah, sure. So this IFX Expo was not a blockchain conference that we used to visit in the past on the ICO stage. So this is very so it's all about these partnerships with the brokerages. So it's the traditional forex expo, where we have the brokers, the software providers for them, and it's quite big event. And definitely the interest is there. So I was speaking about this project, talking about these benefits and the transparency. And the thing here is that a lot of brokers and a lot of these people from traditional world, they want to be involved into crypto now. So everybody is very interested. They want this liquidity. They want to touch this blockchain, but they don't have an ability. Because while it's a bit tricky if you don't know how to do this, well, it's a perfect opportunity for them to start. So that's the broker who will be the first in this transparent new system. It's a great point for them. So we have a number of contacts. Of course, the signing of this partnership, it's a bit it takes some time, because it's very unusual thing for them as well. So it's not just a simple plugin that we install like traditional centralized PAM that everybody already used to. It's something very new, and they want to test this. They want to try this on some demo servers first. But yeah, we are working on this. We are in negotiation with a number of brokerages right now.
Very cool.
Some of them are from the expo.
Great, that's excellent. Now, I want to talk about your competition. So how do you compare to projects like, for example, Ethos?
Well, there are a lot of projects now, and some of them, they are appearing, and new ones. I know that a lot of projects in this sphere, like crypto trust management, they are limited to the crypto market. So that's the common way to do this, because, well, the crypto is nearby. We have a lot of crypto traders. The volumes are not so exciting as they are in traditional markets.
Yeah, but, the forex markets are huge.
Yeah, but there are no like stable leader in the trust management on the crypto field. So that's why a lot of projects, they are aimed to the crypto market. We choose a different approach. So we want to start from traditional markets. It's a bit more tricky because these people are not familiar with crypto. Yeah, so I think the main difference here is in this first step that we want to do.
Very cool. And what about the team? How is the team development coming at Genesis Vision? Are you hiring more people as the project's growing?
Yeah, sure. So we finished our ICO, and starting from this point, our team is growing. So we just actually moved to the new office because the previous one is already too small for us. So we're hiring both the developers for all the stack, like the blockchain. We have a big development coming, because we have this blockchain technology, the smart contracts. Then we have some integrations with all these trading platforms and exchanges. Then we have client applications that we want to make both like web version and mobile version for all platforms. So yeah, we need a lot of people, and we are hiring right now. And at the same time, we have like the marketing team, because it's very important, and all these partnerships, they're not coming from out of the blue. So you need to work on this, and you need to explain people how is it actually working.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, very cool. That's really good to hear. Really good to hear indeed. Now, I see that Charlie Shrem, he's of course a famous name in the space. What is his role? I see that he's an advisor to the project. What is he doing?
So Charlie joined us on quite late stage, just right before the ICO. He's very active, and he has a lot of ideas. Basically, he wants to promote this project as well. He also have a lot of crypto connections. That's what basically we were looking for at the beginning, because we all came from the traditional market. We all we are not very involved in this crypto sphere, but right now everything is okay with that. So we are starting building these connections, and Charlie also helps us with that. The crypto exchanges, the important people in the crypto industry.
Very cool. And I see as well that is it Konstantin from Changely is also involved. Is he playing a similar role as an advisor, or is he doing something a little bit different than Charlie's doing?
So Konstantin is not he's not this like public person who usually making some YouTube videos and has his own community following him, but he has a lot more like connections with the exchanges due to the nature of his project, Changely. And this is very important for us as well, because this cryptocurrency exchanges that we need to integrate with, these contacts are very valuable for us.
Absolutely. I can imagine that, getting listed, for example, on Binance, I mean, that's huge. It's one of the world's top cryptocurrency exchanges, so it's a very important place to be listed. Now, what about the platform launch? When are we going to see the first platform actually be launched for Genesis Vision?
Yeah, so it's not far from here. So our first alpha version release is scheduled to the April. So it's in a couple of months. We will have the limited amount of brokers that we want to attract there. So it's like a test mode. But the trading will be real, so all the functionality will be there. Probably we won't have all the client applications till that point, but it will be enough to actually see how it works.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, what about the roadmap? Looking forward, what are some of the specific events that we can look forward to? I mean, we have the platform launch in April, at least the first version of it. What about for the rest of the year? What about next year? What are the plans for Genesis Vision?
So with the platform release, we get the ability to show this product to the partners, and that's where the big marketing activity starts. So we will participate in some events like IFX Expo was much more actively, because we already have a product. We already we can make an agreement, and we can start integration right now. So that's the one side of this activities. But then we have a lot of work to do with different markets. So we developed the integration for MT4, then we moved to the MT5 integration, and then we have a huge field where we can move step by step, adding more separate exchanges, additional trading platforms, not MT, but some other. And these brokerages that using these platforms, they need to wait until this integration is developed. So we have this step-by-step plan. So after finishing one integration, we'll start from a marketing side, attracting brokers that use this, and then we develop something new, and then start attracting new brokers, and basically the roadmap not until the end of the year, but for like 4 years, I think.
That's
We
it.
have
Just
a lot of work there to do.
that's it. Business development, getting customers, right? That's always the challenge. It's you have a great product, a great idea. Now you have to get people to come and use it. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's fantastic. I think when it actually starts happening, that a lot of people will want to use it, especially people coming from traditional markets and the brokers that want trust and transparency. Now, you have a tournament coming up, some kind of championship thing. What is this? I didn't really see many details about this, but can you maybe tell me some more?
Yeah, sure. So this tournaments, we already had a couple of them during the ICO. So we have a lot of goals here. So the first goal that lies on top for community is just to amuse them. They have some activity. They want to trade. They have some prize in GVT tokens as well. So it's kind of just some activity for them. But from our perspective, it's more of a testing our technology, because they're trading on the MT4. This tournament is on MT5 trading platform. So we already have this integration developed. So we need to test this. And we have a lot of people joining. So right now, tournament is much bigger than the tournaments on an ICO. I don't know how much people are registered. So yesterday it was around 300 people. So, and this is
not bad.
Both like the high load, all the trades that we want to track, we want to write them onto IPFS, and that's exactly what will be happening on the product level as well. So that's the proper test for us of our like Genesis Fusion platform. So of course it's not yet a big network, because this tournament is also with one trading server. But then we have additional versions with multiple brokerages, for example, and that's how we do our testing, basically. At the same time, we have ability for community to show them. We want to find these talented managers, because that's the most important thing. It doesn't work if there are no people who can trade well, and so that's the good way to attract these traders who can actually make some profit.
I think it's a really great incentive for traders too, because just imagine you're a trader, you're trading anyway, but then you can have extra money to trade with and then get a bonus for hopefully, of course, being successful. Now, if somebody out there wants to get involved in the Genesis Vision community, what's the best place for them to do that? Should they go to your Twitter, your Telegram group?
Yeah, so I think Telegram group suits very well. We are have very active community there. We have like chat administrators, and the team members are also in this chat. So if there are some questions addressed to some team members directly, so we answer them there. So we are using Telegram very actively. So I think that's a good starting point.
Fantastic. And Dmitry, while I've got somebody from Russia, in Russia, on the line, I really wanted to ask you a couple of questions about the overall picture of what's happening in Russia at the moment, because Russia's really been a very big market, but also a very big place as far as so many developers, so many projects are coming out of Russia. You know, not just Genesis Vision, but projects like Sonam and Waves, for example, are two very high-profile Russian projects. So what is, according to you, what do you see the scene being like in Russia? You know, is it quite a positive feeling towards cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, or are people kind of, whoa, Bitcoin, that's scary?
So we have very active community in the blockchain sphere in Russia. So yeah, you're right. We have a lot of projects, a lot of new ICOs are starting in Russia. Even though the legal state of all these things in Russia, it's not very clear. So we have some news that we have some upcoming regulations, but nothing is actually done yet. So it's a bit unstable, but people are very interested in this. So we have a lot of blockchain developers, a lot of great ideas here. So it's very active, but well, we should always look for some news coming from the government, because, well, one day something can change.
That's it. It can change very quickly, as the Chinese found out last year.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the crypto ruble? Good idea, bad idea?
Well,
Personal opinion, you know?
Yeah, so everybody heard about this, of course, and it's not the first thing. Like it's not only about Russia. A lot of countries announced something like this. There were some ideas. So, is it useful or not? Well, I'm not sure about this. But the good thing about this crypto ruble, in particular, I think that people start looking into it. They want to invent something. They want to use this technology, and even on a higher level, and not like a small startup, but like on a government level. That's a good thing, because this technology definitely deserves the attention, and that's a good sign for me.
I like that perspective, actually. I hadn't thought of that. But the fact that, yeah, the government's looking into blockchain technology is a really good thing, actually. It shows that they are interested and that they do see value in this technology. Now, I think the legislation is coming from the Russian State Duma, which, for anyone who doesn't know, is like the Russian parliament. That's coming out, I think, in February sometime. Do you think that we're going to see a situation where Russia comes out and says, okay, no Russians can participate in ICOs and Bitcoin's banned, or all these different things? Or do you think it's going to be something positive?
The thing here is that with all this instability right now, a lot of projects they choose not to launch their companies in these countries where these things are not clear yet. So a lot of ICOs that are launched from Russia by Russian teams, for example, they prefer to open a company with the countries that already they know the attitude to the crypto world.
Yeah, Switzerland and Singapore.
Common process, but you cannot actually control the investors. So that's what's happening in China right now. These people are still investing into ICO. It's difficult you can control companies by the law, but it's much more difficult in the cryptocurrency industry to control individuals that want to invest their money.
That's absolutely true.
I don't think that there will be some huge effect, but at the same time, I don't think that this is like very bad thing. So it will ruin the market. No, I think it will evolve somehow.
That's it. And I don't think that Russia's going to be doing something extreme like China did. Maybe we'll see something where they say, okay, we're going to tax the exchanges, we're going to tax miners, for example, and probably they just want the money. It's usually the case with governments.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, Dmitry, I want to thank you so much for taking your time to, tell us about Genesis Vision, talk a little bit about the cryptocurrency scene in Russia. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. It was a pleasure for me too.